Howdy there, folks, and welcome into today's video. Hope you're doing great out there. As always, today I share with you my next 5X stock that I literally just started buying. And this stock could actually end up being way more than a 5X. I just feel like a 5X is what I'm looking for in this stock. I just started buying it very recently. I'm going to share in detail why I think this stock has ridiculous upside potential, okay? We'll also talk about the bear case in this video. I'm going to show you guys exactly how many shares I've bought so far, exactly the cost basis on them, and this company is growing at an insane rate, okay? I'm talking like, I own some very fast growing companies, all right? And I think this one takes the cake over them all pretty much. The growth rates around this company are ridiculous recently. Wait till you guys see some of these numbers, all right? Now, this is a stock I just started buying very recently, and I'm kind of frustrated because Coach Brian, one of our seven-figure coaches, okay, he pointed this out to me months ago, and he pointed this stock out to me, and he's like, dude, you got to buy this stock, and he gave me the bull thesis around it, and I was kind of like, I don't know, it's a little early days, I don't know, and then I looked at the numbers recently. They came out a few weeks ago, and that's what really changed my mind about this one, and I was like, yeah, Brian, I probably should have listened to you, because that was back when it was like a $5 stock, $6 stock, something like that. And obviously I'm having to pay much higher prices, but the crazy thing about that is I think it's still ridiculously low for this stock overall. So hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always today, if you don't mind, smash that thumbs up button. That helps this YouTube channel out in a massive way. Also lets me know you guys appreciate a video like this where I bring a stock to your guys' attention that is under the radar, that I think has massive upside potential. Our goal is 5,000 thumbs up on this video. I think we can smash through that. And by the way, guys, I brought it out of retirement for this week, and this week only, the Becoming Master of the Stock Market course. Oh my gosh, we're gonna dust that baby off. I even added some new videos to that course, okay? It's been in retirement for over a year now. I think every March I'll bring this out of retirement for a 1 week span, and we'll do a once a year sale on it. So we're knocking $250 off. That'll be the pinned comment down there. That is one of the best. That's the best course you'll ever buy in your life, bar none, when it comes to actual stock market investing, the strategies that actually work over the long term to make money from the stock market, exactly how to run portfolios, how to value growth stocks, all those things, as well as dividend investing mastery. So if you want to learn how to build cash flows through dividend investing mastery, even has my private email in that course, so you can actually reach out to me if you have any questions about any of the lessons. That is the second best thing I offer, other than obviously the private group. And I know the private group, obviously not everybody can join in there, but this is something that most folks should have access to. And yeah, it's out of retirement for this week, guys. Take advantage before it ends. It will be the pinned comment down there. Alrighty, guys, let's get into this. So if you haven't seen, or if you haven't even ever heard of it, Coinbase, okay? Coinbase's valuation is nearing $100 billion, and it's about to have the biggest direct listing in possibly the history of the stock market, okay? Coinbase, yeah, like literally, some of you guys might not have ever heard of Coinbase, which is crazy. And this company is around $100 billion market cap, okay? Coinbase, it's basically known as a place you can buy and sell cryptos, all right? And they get a 4.6 star rating on the App Store. People love it. It's a big beast of a company. It's huge, all right? But what if I told you there was a crypto brokerage on the come up that people like even more than Coinbase, and it's a much smaller company, much more nimble, and is growing at likely a much faster clip than Coinbase is, okay? And that company is Voyager Digital, okay? This app gets a 4.8 out of 5 stars on the Apple App Store, and it is usually one of the most downloaded apps each and every day in the finance niche very recently. It's been absolutely doing amazing. And as of today, it's a place where you can pretty much buy and sell a ton of different cryptos right from your phone, and even earn interest on some of these, like USDC, okay? I think it's like a 9% interest rate or so on USDC. So a lot of folks, including myself, are looking at that and they're like, let's just put some cash over there to earn some interest, because obviously a traditional savings account or something like that, you get like basically no interest, right? And so something like that is a little compelling to at least put some of my cash over there for now and hopefully earn some very nice interest on that. Now, the huge reason why I invest in a stock, and we're going to go through a lot of the reasons, okay, but a huge reason is a massive market opportunity. Wait till I show you guys the growth rates around this company. You are going to have your mind blown, okay? I mean, I don't think I've ever talked about such a high growth company in all my years of talking about stocks. And that's saying something, because this is a guy that, you know, bought Tesla many years ago. In the Planet, which is a company that's been growing revenues at, I don't know, expected to grow revenue like 100% this upcoming year. Very good food company growing revenues at hundreds of percent per quarter. But I'm telling you guys, this is what takes the cake, okay? But a huge reason why I invested is this company long-term could actually be much more than just a crypto brokerage. Now, keep in mind, just as a crypto brokerage, that could be something that 3x's, 5x's, 10x's a stock over the next 3-5 years. Just that alone, okay? But on top of that, them getting more into maybe online banking, as well as potentially stocks, right? As a stock brokerage, general consumer services, things like that. There's such massive market opportunity in front of this company over the coming years. This is a huge reason why I invested. Robinhood has like a 40 billion, if not more than a $40 billion valuation on that company. Think about all the bad press Robinhood has received over the last, I don't know, few years, over a ton of different things. And that company still has a $40 billion plus valuation that continues to climb. You know why? Because they got a ton of people using Robinhood each and every day, okay? So when you look at things like Coinbase, things like Robinhood valuations, you really start to understand how big we're talking these companies are today and are going to be in the future, okay? And this Voyager company is teeny tiny compared to those guys when it comes to market capitalization, okay? Voyager, this goes over their timeline. It's a somewhat new company out there, and they've really started to take off on the App Store over the last quarter or two, okay? The big takeoff started to happen, in my opinion, around Q4. That's when this started really getting popular and really started, you know, getting some attention outside, some big attention. Let's just put it that way, all right? Look at this. This is back in February, so last month, okay? Robinhood Move Over. Voyager crypto trading app gets 250,000 downloads over a 3-day period, okay? Voyager just very recently, over the last several months, has been absolutely going beast mode, okay? Now remember, I talked to you guys about some crazy growth. I promised to show you some insane growth, so get ready for this. Oh my gosh, okay? This shows you that net deposits and asset growth accelerated dramatically just over the past year or two, okay? Look at that, $5 million in assets in December of 2019, and at the end of last month, over $1.7 billion of assets under management now for this company. That's a 340x in like a snap of fingers, guys. This is ridiculous, okay? Absolutely epic growth. Look at this. 8,500 trades processed in December 2019. And they just did over 2 million trades processed in February of 2021. That's a 235x. Like I said, guys, I own some amazing growth companies with some insane growth rates. But I'm telling you guys, this one takes the cake by a mile. It is ridiculous, okay? No, they also actually have some big competitive advantages against the big guys. So this is where things get very interesting. We're going to get into the management team and the CEO and why this is a very interesting company here. But they actually have competitive advantages against their bigger competition that is massive. And you know, usually if you're thinking about a little guy on the come up, usually think they don't have any competitive advantages. They're at disadvantages across the board. It's not like that for Voyager. And that makes this company pretty darn special. Just one of the things that makes this company pretty darn special, okay? Now here they're talking about future growth opportunities and where this company is going over the coming years, okay? Now, as far as the opportunities in front of this company over the next year, 2 years, 3 years, I think are realistic for them to expand into. I think debit cards should be like ASAP. Credit cards, margin accounts, obviously, right? Traditional banking products, international expansion is going to be huge for this company over the coming years. And then ultimately, stock equities. I think they should compete in the stock brokerage space as well long term, where they're actually, you can't just buy cryptos there, you can also buy stocks. Because I'm finding more and more people, including myself, want to own not just stocks but also cryptos. And so that's the future, man. If you're gonna be able to buy, ETFs on a place, and stocks, individual stocks, and index funds, and cryptos in general, and things like that, like that's the future. That's where we're going over time. And so these are the opportunities I think this company is going to go after over the next 1 to 3 years. And I think they got a pretty decent probability of executing, okay? You know why? They have actually a pretty dang good team. I know it's a small company. They got a pretty good team, okay? Former vice president brokerage at E-Trade is a gentleman who runs this company, Steve, okay? And so, yeah, I mean, he's got some pretty darn good experience when it comes to stock brokerages. And it's amazing. They're competing insanely well in the crypto brokerage space. But remember, his specialty is stock brokerages, right? And so he's going to be able to kind of like look to the future and be like, okay, what type of things did we do wrong at E-Trade? What type of things did we do well? And when we go to launch a stock brokerage, which I think this company is going to do over the next, let's say, 1 to 2 years, he's going to be able to look at it and be like, okay, this is the way we're going to do it, and things like that, okay? Oscar Salazar, he's a former architect and founding CTO, Chief Technology Officer at Uber. And so I'm looking at kind of this team they got in place, and I'm like, okay, this is looking pretty darn good, okay? Now, we have a lot more to get into in regards to this stock, okay? But let me quickly show you how many shares I own so far of the stock, okay? As of right now, I own 5,000 shares of this stock. So that's $93,000 worth right now. Cost base of $17.16 right now, okay? Now, if it were to go down a bunch short term, let me be very clear, I'll buy another 5,000 shares of stock, okay? This isn't like I'm done buying this stock. I'm good now. I'm good if it continues to, let's say, skyrocket over the coming weeks and months. Then I'll be like, all right, I'll just hold my 5,000 shares. But let me be very clear. If this goes down short term, I will be more than happy to buy another 5,000 shares of this company and get myself up to about 10,000 shares, okay? Coinbase, $100 billion valuation. Robinhood, $40 billion valuation. Voyager, $2 billion valuation, okay? $2 billion. Here's how I feel about Voyager. If they just have decent execution, I'm not even talking about, wow, this company's clicking on all cylinders, they're doing amazing, which they have been. They've been clicking on all cylinders, they're doing amazing, okay? I'm just talking if they actually take a step back and just have decent execution. I think this company's going to $10 billion over the next 3 years when it comes to market cap. That's a decent execution, okay? Robinhood, like how do you feel about Robinhood? Do you feel like they've executed decently or less than decently? And look at Robinhood's valuation over the past several years, even as they've had tons of dramatic things. Like I remember it was just yesterday, Robinhood had a valuation of, what was it, $8 or $10 billion? And then all the bad news that's come out about Robinhood and all the bad press, and yet the company's valuation just keeps climbing, getting bigger. Like, think about this, guys. I mean, this is where the huge opportunity is in the fintech space, okay? Now, great execution, let's hypothetically say they have great execution, like they've been executing on so far, and they just, knock it out of the ballpark over the coming years. I think this could be a $40 to $100 billion market cap in 3 years from now. Do the math on that. It's $2 billion today. I think that if they execute great, they can be $40 billion to $100 billion. And this isn't like, oh my gosh, it's impossible to get there, something like that. We've watched Coinbase do it. We've watched Robinhood do it, even with, what a lot of people would feel like poor execution out of Robinhood, and they've gotten to 40 billion plus, right? So, I mean, imagine if this company executes great, they build a great brand for themselves, a great brokerage overall that has cryptos and stocks, ETFs, index funds, all those things. Imagine you could purchase anything like that, gold, like anything like that, right? Plus debit cards, credit cards, and things like that they could easily get into over the next, a year or two. Like that's not like the most complicated things out there to get involved with. They have their eyes on international expansion and a massive opportunity. Like, there's no doubt in my mind, if this company like clicks on all cylinders for the next 3 years, this is going to $40 billion to $100 billion market cap, okay? Now let's talk about the bear case for this company. It can't just be about the reward potential. We have to talk about the risks. There are 4 main risks for this investment of mine here, okay? The first one is, what if a massive crypto crash happened? Where we're talking, Bitcoin falls from, it's been trading at $50,000 to $60,000 per Bitcoin recently, right? What if Bitcoin was to fall to 20,000, 10,000 or something like that and stay down there for a while? That would obviously probably hurt, crypto in the short term, but I will say, if that were to happen, it's hard for me to even believe that would happen now, because there's so much buying interest in Bitcoin. And I'm not just talking about from retail investors. I'm talking about from funds now. I'm talking about from companies. I mean, we've seen some of the biggest of the big companies just start to buy a little bit of crypto recently, right? Never mind if crypto was to go down to like, say, 10,000, and I'm not talking about crypto, I'm talking about Bitcoin was to fall to 10,000, 20,000. It's hard for me to imagine that, right? And so it's possible. What if the whole Bitcoin market and the whole crypto market in general crashed? Okay, that's a bear case for this company. Obviously, that would potentially hurt the company in the short term. But man, that would be a lot of trading volume also. There's puts and takes with all this, right? Then you say, well, what if no new users? What if no one wants to use this app? Obviously, that's a risk for the company because it trades at a premium. Basically, there's a lot of growth expected in this company. So what if no new users come on and they just keep their users they have right now? Or dare I say, users start to flee the platform and just want to use Coinbase or something like that? That's obviously a risk. Now, the complete opposite of that is really going on in the real world. There's actually tons of users coming onto this platform each and every day, but we got to at least accept the risk that what if no new users came on, okay? What if the company had no innovation? What if they don't get into debit cards and credit cards and a stock brokerage? And what if they don't expand internationally and all these sorts of things, okay? That's obviously a risk if this company just doesn't innovate. I mean, but how realistic are these scenarios, okay? Where the company just doesn't innovate. They've just been like, oh, we're doing all this, and they just stop doing it. What's the chances they just like stop, start losing users and things like that? And I feel like the last big risk for this company is some sort of massive hack situation where, a ton of accounts are hacked or something like that. And I'm talking a ton, and it creates a ton of bad publicity out there. And then all of a sudden people don't want to use the app anymore or something like that. But even that scenario, remember Robinhood? They had this, okay? I mean, Robinhood's had a lot of bad press over the last, year or two, so it's hard to keep track of it all. Don't you guys remember, I don't know if it was 3-6 months ago, there was all that news coming out about Robinhood, and there was a bunch of accounts hacked and things like that. And look at Robinhood's valuation. They've just gotten bigger and bigger and bigger, okay? So even the bear cases, it's hard to formulate a really strong bear case around this company, but you got to always take these things into account, okay? So I would say there's about a 10% chance that this stock drops 50% or more over the next 3 years, okay? About a 10% chance. There's about a 20% chance that the stock would still be somewhere around where it's trading at today in 3 years from now, meaning it's somewhere roughly around a $2 billion market cap. Let's say 1.5 billion to 2.5 billion, and really hasn't gone anywhere, 3 years from basically me recording this video. I think there's a 70% chance this stock 5x's or more over the next 3 years, okay? And keep in mind, somebody I respect a lot believes this stock is gonna 3x to 5x this year. And I'm talking from here. Somebody I respect a lot thinks this market cap's going to 6 to 10 billion this year, okay? I don't like to make those short-term predictions usually. I'm kind of looking 3 to 5 years out, but I do think I would put about a 70% probability this stock 5x's or more within the next 3 years, okay? Now, the craziest thing, there's not a lot of analysts that cover the stock. There's only a few. But some of them have this company already being actually really, really profitable. Now, that's just a cherry on top. I'm not pricing in, sweet profitability for this company at all, okay? Right now, this company is growing so rapidly, they're gonna be expanding their business massively over the coming years, that I'm not pricing in any profitability in the short term. However, I will say, if this company is profitable in the short term, despite this massive growth they have ahead, I'm gonna say this is just the best stock ever. I mean, that would just be ridiculous, okay? You don't usually get a situation with the stock where the stock is growing like crazy, the revenue is going insane for a company, and they're profitable. It just doesn't usually work like that. Usually how it works is a company's growing revenue like crazy, they're probably taking market share from their competitors, and EPS is down, or EPS is just negative in that sort of situation. But I gotta say, that's just a cherry on top if this company could somehow eke out nice profitability over the next, couple years. I'm not pricing that in, but it is a possibility. And keep in mind, this company just raised not that long ago 9 figures worth of cash. I think it was somewhere around, I want to say 163 billion or so. And don't be surprised, especially as this company expands, they could probably raise more capital easily if they want to. Now, if the company is making some sweet profits, raising capital is not going to be nearly as important, because obviously they can take that positive cash flow and kind of pour that into the business, okay? So that's something to kind of keep in mind there. Look at this. We're not even through all the ridiculous growth around this, okay? This really is what changed my mind over the past few weeks in regards to stock. And this made me really have to take these guys serious, okay? Look at this. Preliminary revenue for this company in February. Keep in mind, February is a short month, 28 days, okay? In February, they had revenue of $20 million? 20 million? I mean, if you go back to December of 2020, 2 months before, they had $1.7 million of revenue. And they just did $20 million, okay? That's ridiculous growth. Net deposits of $400 million versus $170 million in January 2021. And keep in mind, right now, when it comes to Voyager, you can only basically put $10,000 into your account per time. If they raise that over time to, $50K, $100K, $250,000, something like that, I mean, I think the net deposits is gonna rise actually much more rapidly. But just the top line growth, I mean, you don't see that type of top line growth in almost any company on a 2-month span like that. Like even year over year, for them to, I mean, imagine if this was year over year, like we're looking at, let's say February of 2020 versus February 2021. If they had grown at 10x plus revenues year over year, that would be ridiculous. But when you're 10xing revenues on a 2-month span, my gosh, guys, this is ridiculous. This is really what changed my mind in regards to stock and made me say, okay, between seeing where this company's ranking on the finance apps on iOS day in and day out, and then seeing the preliminary revenues and actually signing up for the app and experience it and kind of, making a few moves out there, I'm like, okay, this is pretty darn big opportunity. Now, the craziest thing about this is it's not like this company's necessarily trading like hugely rich. Like you might think the valuation would have to be insane in the stock. Here's what I think. I think this company is going to likely do 200 million to 300 million of revenue in 2021. Now, maybe I'm too high on my numbers. Maybe I'm too low on my numbers. Keep in mind, if this app continues to take off and continues to build and build and build, and more people are telling, friends and family, hey, download this app. This is how you can buy Bitcoin. This is how you can buy Ethereum. Dare I say stocks at some point this year? I don't know. Maybe they don't get there this year, but man, if they did, holy smokers, that ain't no joke, okay? I think this company is going to do 200 million to 300 million revenue. That puts them at a price to sales ratio of let's say 6.7 to maybe 10, somewhere in there, off of what I feel is going to be 2021 revenue estimates, okay, the Jeremy estimates. So when you look at it from that perspective, it's not even like it's a crazy rich valuation based upon where the company's trading at today. That's what's craziest about this, okay? I mean, I think there's a lot of big banks that would love to acquire Voyager today. I don't think Voyager should be acquired. I think they should build this out into hopefully a $10 billion market cap, or if not, much more than that over the coming years. I think that's the route they should go. They should try to become a big beast. I think they have that type of potential. Sometimes I look at companies, I'm like, I don't think they quite have it. I think they should be acquired by somebody else and, they could build the business out that way. Not for Voyager. I feel like they truly have this type of opportunity for themselves and they could potentially execute to become huge, okay? Guys, we might have another big one here, okay? We might have reeled us in another big fish out of the ocean, okay? I don't know. We'll see over time. This is definitely a stock to watch, in my opinion, out there over the next few years, because my goodness, this is one of the stocks out there that you can find that is, not a massive company, but you could very easily see this company being a massive company 3 years out, 5 years out from now. So anyways, hope you guys enjoyed today's video. As always, if you don't mind, smash that thumbs up button. If you have not already, our goal is at least 5,000 thumbs up on this video. I hope you guys enjoy a video like this where I'm sharing my next big stock potential with you guys out there. If you're looking to get into becoming master of the stock market course that is out of retirement for this week and this week only, it will be the pinned comment down there. If you don't get it this week, you gotta wait till March of 2022 to get it, okay? So hope you guys enjoy that. The $250 off will already be taken at checkout. Make sure you take advantage of that. Thank you for watching and have a great day.